Christianity. This is an overview of my project. Christianity is based on Jesus being the Son of God who was sent here to die for human sins. There are many branches of Christianity, but the main one that I focus is on the Pentecostal of the Assemblies of God. The only sexuality that Christians can have is heterosexual, monogamous, in marriage. God forgives, but you must carry the consequences with you. Getting pregnant or having an STD are signs that you're doing something wrong. This was set by my youth pastor. There are rules outside of the Bible set by the church. If a woman gets pregnant outside of marriage, she cannot participate in all the church's activities as before. The church members see them as lower. Christianity is a social construct because there are rules that are not set by the Bible that are practiced by the church. Rules like women cannot wear pants if they're preaching, women must be married in order for them to preach if they're living with a man. Women who have kids outside of marriage are seen as lower. It seems that there's more rules for men than there are for women. For the men, because they don't get pregnant or because you don't see what they're doing, it's easier for them to get by and not have as many social pressures in the church. Also, homosexuals are not accepted in the church. They can go to the church, but they cannot resume their life as homosexuals in the church. As nothing is set in stone. Everything is socially constructed. Just because heterosexuality and monogamous marriage is what's popular today, that will not last. Time will change things. Gay marriage was once outlawed. Now people of the same sex can get married anywhere in the United States. There are other sexual identities besides the heterosexual and homosexual. Not everybody fits in the category, but people understand of sexualities is expanding. I have learned that Christians have picked on homosexuals as a lot, as seen in the video and the readings from week 12. The key is knowledge. If we are planning to move in a positive way, we must learn to open up our minds to different possibilities. Taking this class, I have really seen that just because what's popular today doesn't mean that it's going to be popular tomorrow. Just like women before couldn't work, now women could work, and things that like sexual orientation does not necessarily mean that there's only two options. There's not just heterosexual or homosexual, but there's different categories, and people are learning to be more accepting of people's sexual preferences. The world is changing, slowly, very slowly, but it is changing. In order to keep the world changing, we must learn to be more open-minded and accept people by who they are and what they do. Those who are affected by Christianity. Everyone that comes in contact with them. There is a domino effect to those who are Christians or those who come in contact with them. The way sexual education is taught is a good example on how Christianity has affected everyone. Kids do not learn proper ways to have sex, even those without Christian parents. Women, because men are created in God's image, as it said so in the Bible, it must be true. Women are seen as lower than men by society and by the church. Women still do not get the same pay as men. Kids who are not exposed to anything with Christianity because they do not experience all the other good stuff there is to offer. And they grow up to be closed-minded as those other Christians. As I mentioned before, I did not know that Christians were so mean to the homosexuals as seen in chapter 12. It is crazy how Christians, even though it says in the Bible that we must not judge, that we must turn the other cheek, and that we must help one another, are still standing up and saying, no, you're not allowed to have the rights because it said so in the Bible. Like, there's other things that say in the Bible too, but other people don't follow it. So everybody's affected by Christianity just because Christians who are closed-minded stand up for the wrong causes. There are many challenges that are coming ahead, and I am confident that with time, because society is changing, Christianity will change. But then again, there are still those, because it is set on the Bible and because people believe what's in the Bible, they will not accept homosexuals to be part of the church. I have talked to my pastor, I have talked to my sister, and I have talked to many of my Christian friends, and I've asked them if they would accept homosexuals. Their answer is yes, because they are God's creation, but they do not accept their way of life. In order for them to fully be part of the church, they must reject homosexuality and become heterosexual. I see that as a challenge because they may see it as a lifestyle or a choice, but this is not a choice. This is how people are created. One of the strengths that I do see in Christianity is that many other churches that are not Pentecostal or Catholic or one of the popular branches of Christianity are coming out and accepting homosexuals and accepting women, and they're standing up for their rights. So I do have some hope that Christianity will change, and hopefully Christians who are Pentecostal will be open-minded and we will receive them with joy.